What's up, Grim? Oh. Okay, let's play my copyright-free music. Kinda. I'm a water. Ugh. Gate fight? You want me to join Discord? Yeah, you can. Are you in my Discord? Or do I need to invite you? Frankie got you in? In my Discord? Or his Discord? Oh, you're right here. I think you should be able to join this one, right? Yeah. You join the famous people chat. I don't even know if my thing is.
Hey,
What's up?
how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Yeah, I saw you post that, and I was like, man, he hits the nail on the head. These are things we were talking about in the podcast, our Three Skeevers podcast, like 5 years ago. Like, and fast forward, you know, we still have a lot of the same problems and issues in the game, and a whole bunch of new ones, right, with subclassing and, first it was hybridization, then it's subclassing and all of that. But it's such an interesting topic, and it's real interesting how people are way on the left side and way on the right side about it, and it's that big gap that's causing like a problem in proper direction for the game. So
I made that video, and usually I respond to every comment. But I think it already has like 110 comments. I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm getting through half of these.
yeah, well, I mean, it's a hot topic for the game right now because people love the game, but they love it for a lot of different reasons. So if I send you in Discord, if I send you an image, would you show that on your stream as a reference point for like what we'll be talking about? It's nothing bad, but
What's up, Shook?
hey, Shook, what's going on, dude?
Let me see here. I'll move this over here.
Yes. All right, it sent that image over to you.
First car ever built using Common Core math.
Yeah, have you seen this image before?
I have never. Wait, what am I looking at?
Okay, so in regards to ESO, okay, we have a dev team. We were talking about this 5 or 6 years ago. Like, history is important to understand, like how we got to where we're at today in the game. But we were talking about this 5 or 6 years ago, and it was speculated, like with our little tinfoil hats, we're not sure that the current dev team, which is Brian Wheeler and whoever, understand PvP. We're not saying that they're bad developers. We're saying that they don't understand PvP. And so when you look at this car, this person clearly, like the manufacturer, knows that the car needs a windshield, needs tires, needs doors. They just don't know how to put it together properly to function the way like a race car driver, which we're going to call you a race car driver, right? Because we'll establish that understanding a little bit better. But they know that this thing needs these items and they know how to make those items. They just don't know how to connect them properly. To further kind of expand on that too, Brian Wheeler and his team were not the original combat development team. The original combat development team is no longer there. And so rewind 5-6 years ago, we were like, dude, I'm not even sure that these guys know what they're doing. Like, we were questioning everything. You know, it's not that they're incompetent as a developer. That it's like they're making changes that don't make sense. And we do have a thing that drives, but it feels or looks like this thing that you see, the car, right? The Common Core mass car. And so anyways,
Common
it's
Core
not
mass
that
car.
you couldn't take someone like you and make that car go really fast. You know, you could make that car perform at the highest level that it'll be able to. And we're connecting that to ESO, right? And ESO, even when ESO is built and not built properly or completely imbalanced, you're still going to be able to find the limits, what it can achieve in speed and cornering and everything. And like, a good mechanic can drive a vehicle and just through feel, because they're a subject matter expert, just through feel, they can tell you this thing will not sustain, right? Or this thing is not changing gears properly from fourth gear or whatever, right? A great mechanic just through feel, because they have that. Well, good PvPers have that same feel. You know what true pressure is. You also know what, like, if somebody lays into you and you're just like, yeah, this ain't it, bro. This is not it. Because you've been in the trenches, you're the race car driver that can feel and understand that, right?
Right.
The current dev team lacks that capability. They can make the windshield, they can make the engine, and they're going to put it together either the best way they think it should go together, or they're being told wrong by people that they themselves are not race car drivers. And I'm not saying, oh, here's another PvP guy that thinks that we need the entire game built around his, liking or whatever. No, I'm saying that in PvP, you're exposed to some of the most extreme scenarios, getting zerged down and having to sustain through extreme outnumbered and repositioning and, balancing your resources with, maybe I got too many mag abilities even on my bar. And so my sustain, I switch out one or two abilities to a stamina based ability that accomplishes the same thing. And now all of a sudden, this is it. This is the sweet spot. The race car driver figures those things out way quicker than somebody that doesn't have that thought process. And so in ESO, 5-6 years ago, we were like, I don't think that this dev team knows what they're doing in regard to putting the thing together, or they're having a hard time because every time they release something, it's full of bugs, or it breaks something else, or it reverts things like the block bug coming back, or now weapons are under our feet, or we're running on our mounts. It's like we always rewind to these things that they will have fixed at another point. And so anyways, we said this 5 or 6 years ago, and then we went through from that point where we were speculating this to this like cancel culture aspect of ESO. If you even mentioned PvP in one of their streams,
You get
like, you were
banned.
banned. You were banned, and we're like, what are we doing here? Like, you're alienating your player base. And so at that exact same time, they got rid of the class rep system, right? So some of the biggest voices or proponents, like other fellow race car drivers that understand, the nuances of PvP and are trying to say, hey, don't do that or do this or whatever. Now all of a sudden, there's no reason to even have to hear them, right? They don't even need to be in the room now, because we're putting that program to bed. And so we're eliminating anything that we don't want to hear from the boards, the official forums, and we're eliminating anything that we don't want to hear or deal with from the live streams. And so it put your community that has been here for 10 years in a really weird spot, because they're like, the game's bleeding players, not just on the PvP side of it, but also on the PvE side of it, because of the bad decision making that they're doing, right? And then we fast forward a little bit longer. Brian Wheeler has his infamous where it's confirmed that he doesn't have the basic understanding of PvP,
Or not even
right?
PvP, just the game in general. Dude
The
didn't even
game in
know.
general.
He didn't even know heavy attacking gave his resources back.
Exactly. And so and then it's like there we are. That is literally our master in chief. That's our person that is making, that's the end all be all, making our decisions when it comes to combat. That is the lead combat developer in this game, and he does not understand. He can, we're not asking that he be amazing at combat. We're just asking that he has a basic understanding, a basic competency of it, right? And he didn't. And so then you start looking at it in your comments. Some people were like, hey, this is malicious. It feels like they're doing it on purpose. Maybe there's a little bit of that because they're like, you know, jaded. Like, I'm so tired of getting thrown under the bus and told that I'm bad at this game and I'm a developer and, you know, and I'm going to do this. Maybe. But I think we're adults here and they're trying to protect their jobs. And especially, you know, there's another whole topic of the game that they were Blackbird or whatever that they were working on the side, because we had speculated 5 years ago. I was like, I don't think that their ESO's allocating their funds properly, putting the funds back into this game, you know, to fix the bugs, fix the problems, to make the game better, and to compound that with making bad decisions along the way that don't make sense, you know. And so anyways, Brian Wheeler has the stream, and then it becomes clear it's not malicious as much as it is incompetence, the basic lacking of understanding of how the game works. And so they literally are building that car that I sent you because that's the level of their understanding. It needs those items. They don't know where those items should go because they're listening to the wrong people or just going off of whatever they think it should be, as opposed to just listening to the people that understand the game intimately, you know, how combat works, what real pressure is, what's not pressure, and line of sight, and, you know, block casting, and what's a balanced ability versus not a balanced ability, and how do we balance class, you know, you know, defining versus, you know, just be whatever you want. And so then fast forward a little bit farther, they announced subclassing, or no, fast forward a little bit farther, or right around that time frame, they made the decision to go from 4v4v4 battlegrounds to just 4v4 and 8v8, and that was the final straw for me. Like, that 100% sealed the deal on tell me that you don't know what you're doing without telling me you don't know what you're doing. And so you had someone that commented on it, there's no better way to have a competitive, you don't have competitive unless you have one team versus another. And
People said, y'all still crying about the game, and V-Crest said, what in the yap?
Right. So
V-Crest, can y'all not see I'm interviewing the secret dev of ZOS?
So here's the thing, when they announced that they were going to just 4v4, because I've trained so many people, like 5 years of training PvPers, you know, just like one-on-one training, full group, full guilds, everything. Like, I knew when you're working with a new PvPer, one of the hardest things for them is to even understand what's happening to them, right? To get them to a point where they can survive longer. And now everyone in the game has nuclear capabilities, right? The TTK, or time to kill, is extremely quick in the game. New players are going to be at the highest disadvantage that they've ever been in this game because of subclassing, compounded with, if they step into battlegrounds, you will be spawn camped.
You need Ryder in here? Absolutely not. I'm not friends with that guy, people. That's never happening.
And so they announced the 4v4, and everyone, you said this in your video, everyone will be spawn camped at some point or another, because that's how 4v4s work. That is the worst first time experience for new players ever. Imagine, it was rough even at 4v4v4, but they have an opportunity to not experience like real pressure, like everyone's targeting you, right? Because in PvP, people are very ooh shiny, you know, and like if I'm lower health than you and they're all trying to kill you and I run by, like watch how many people peel off you just to try and secure the kill on me, right? And so in the 4v4 scenario, that saved a lot of people's butts and allowed a lot less pressure. It also allowed people like you or I to weave in and out of the shadows and you know, do things, you know, but there was a lot less spawn camping
Well,
happening
yeah,
as
because
well.
my part of the point was that in 4v4v4, right? One guy was talking about WoW. I don't know why he was talking about WoW. I was like, I don't know why you're talking about WoW. This is ESO. They're not even close to the same MMORPG. The reason people play ESO is because it's not like all the other MMORPGs. But he was talking about WoW and how something like a 4v4 and 8v8 two teams is more competitive. I was like, first of all, ESO is not a competitive game at all,
Yes,
right?
100%.
There's no competition in this game. And second of all, in three team, where the reason that worked so well is because when you had a team that was significantly better than the other two teams, both teams would end up just teaming up on that team.
Yeah, or while the really dominant team's trying to spawn camp and bully the other team, the other one's playing the objective and they get you hell out of the game. They get you out of the game, right? You're not stuck there just refusing to jump down and the other team sitting there like licking their chops, you know? That
Right, kind of
other team,
like in Capture the Rat. Like now in AV8, right? If one you're getting spawn trapped, there's nothing you can do. There's
yeah,
literally you jump down, you just die. In 4v4v4, obviously you have three teams. Just one team's just gonna go. You're trying to spawn trap one team, the other team's just gonna go and take the relic from the other team, and it's gonna end.
yeah. So I really want them to revert to back to the 4v4 and that will tell me that we're listening. If they don't do that, like there's this dev team and their direction that they're taking is something that I and a lot of people are not interested in. So we're not interested in getting spawn camped. We want to go in and just have fun in battlegrounds, and spawn camping is not it, you know, being on either the receiving or the giving side of it. So
BG problem is with the bots jumping in with PvE builds.
yeah, yeah, and you know that right there. So if there was a better education system for new PvPers, if there was a better way to say, hey, you really don't want to jump in here with your PvE builds because PvE and PvP are two different animals, you know? Oh, and by the way, you should probably have a hot on your bar, a burst heal, you know, major. You know, you should have your buffs on your bar, major brutality, major sorcery, these things that are normally given to you by another player in a raid, right? You need to be self-sufficient in this scenario, unless you're jumping in with a ball group or a Zerg or whatever, but be self-sufficient. So here's what your ability bar should look like, right? But nobody's doing that. You know, we've got Dougie out here trying to educate people or whatever, but that's only for the people that are looking for it, looking for the education.
Savvy said, I think it's just PvEers ruining fun for actual PvPers, acting like they're the main community for PvP.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, who's the devs listening to? You know, if they're not, like if there's a round table and they're like, hey, we're listening to you now and we're going to make all the changes you ask for, well, hold up. What changes, who do you have standing next to you telling you that the PvP, what to change in regards to PvP, you know? So that's a serious problem. Hey, another thing too, in regards to the vengeance that a lot of people overlook, and this dates back to 5-6 years ago when, you know, we found out that the current dev team was having a problem even handling the code of the previous dev team and making it all happen. Spawn trapping is fun. WTF. Yeah, for the giver, not the receiver.
It's really not even that fun, to be honest.
Right.
It's like,
No,
after, like, it's fun every once in a while, but every game, it's either you get spawn trapped or your team is spawn trapped, and then it gets boring.
Yeah, that's not riveting PvP. You know, it's just not riveting PvP gameplay. So, anyways, when they said they were having a hard time with the code, we talked about this on the podcast and we said, you know what, maybe they they need to be making changes using the Battle Spirit passive and not making changes that are umbrellaing the entire game as a whole, because that puts the PvE community pissed off at the PvP community. Makes them really mad at the PvP community. Why does PvPers always get to dictate what's getting nerfed or changed in the game, and they're the smallest community and the loudest mouth, biggest ball babies, and this, that, and the other.
I don't know why
And
BG's doesn't have the icy protection spawns.
oh yeah, yeah,
That might help. That might somehow help.
yeah. I don't know. Oh, something on that note too. One of the ledges, the small doors going from one of the districts to the other. You know how when you go through the door you have immunity? If you go into your inventory, your immunity drops while you're standing up on the ledge. So, anyways, one of the reasons that they were looking at Vengeance is it gives them a chance to write the entire PvP code. They just rebuild PvP, which is what they need to do, so that way it's going to save them heartache having to continue to try and push something through and find out it reverted the weapons under the feet or the block bugs back or this or that or whatever, because they are having for years that problem of writing the code and getting it to work with the previous development teams.
It's really fun. That's what I do on Nuketown. Well, yeah, spawn trapping in Call of Duty is a lot more fun than spawn trapping in ESO.
Yeah, for real.
Well, what happened to the original dev team? Did they get fired or what?
I don't remember. It's been so long ago what was going on, but with that was quite a while ago. But you don't know what you have until it's gone, right? And then that dev team is gone, and a new dev team comes in, and the direction changes.
It's like they replaced all those devs with a bunch of people who didn't care about the game. That's basically what happened.
I mean, we can't argue it, so we can't argue.
I mean, every time Brian Wheeler gets on stream, he looks miserable.
Yeah. Well, is this another stream where I'm going to get exposed? Maybe really good at writing code, just not really good at putting the card together properly.
I mean, there's plenty of people good at writing code.
Yeah. The thing about it too is they have pain in the axe on the. This is a.
Yeah, they have pain in the axe and a Kui, and they both know about PvP.
Right. And if you ask pain in the axe, he's like, they don't ask me anything.
That's what I said. I was like, you have a stream team, and you have two really good PvPers, right? A Kui and Pain in the Axe, both really good at PvP. Both can play in a group. Both can Zerg. Both can play in a ball group or a comp group. Both can play 1vx, right? They can play every style of the game. And instead of asking them what needs to be done or what needs to be changed for PvP, they completely forget they exist and like, hey, guess what? We got y'all some free crown crates though, so make sure to open those up on stream.
Right. Yeah. All about the community relation, less about the let's actually get to the part where we balance the game and plan for the next 30 years, which is what we say we want to do. Which we have a 180 change, going from cancel culture and being banned from even saying PvP and stuff to now all of a sudden it's all about the community and it's all about feedback and we want to hear these things and stuff like that. And to be honest, it's like, heard it all before, believe it when I see it, because this has been happening for 6 years. We're going to listen to the community. We're going to do, what we say, meanwhile banning PvPers and, even basic questions and stuff like that. So, look at that burst.
In all seriousness, ZOS bans are the least message about PvP on their stream, so it's just beating it on a dead horse. Well, they actually don't ban them anymore.
Yeah, I haven't seen it anymore.
They stopped
and maybe
that.
it was a heavy-handed moderator or something to that effect. That's possible. So I won't believe that they're ready to have open lines of communication until they get a true race car driver in the seat, not necessarily the lead dev or anything like that, because they're two different things. I want to see a consultant that understands PvP helping them understand the nuances of PvP, right? And as we're balancing PvP properly, we're not affecting PvE, because this rift between PvE and PvP should not exist at all if it were done properly. So, and another thing, talking earlier, how you were talking about it's not a competitive game. Like, you, why do we have 100% steam rolls in battlegrounds? Why do we have spawn camping? It's because their RNG or their elo, their you know system that they have doesn't work. It just randomly drops a bunch of people in there, and oh, if you're grouped up, um, stay with your group and go up against these randos. Um,
I also
so
think
any,
ESO should have been a competitive game. I think the
yeah,
game would probably be much bigger. I think the combat in ESO is what makes it good, right? It appeals to a much more wider audience of people, more casual players. Like, people who play Call of Duty, you know, they like playing games like ESO. It's just more entertaining for them. But then when you
yeah.
have give Werewolf new skins, they should also do that low key. But
Hey, what's up, Lycanthrope?
but I think if they would host, not they still can. It's not too late. They still can. If they would to host things like official dueling tourneys or official competitive BGs with it doesn't even have to be a massive prize pool. Even if they put, hey, we're hosting a dueling tourney and first place gets $1,000. No rules. Everybody joins, right? And you have thousands
Yeah,
and thousands of views. I mean, Eamon hosted his dueling tourney. Cujo hosted a dueling tourney, right? They're only so
yeah,
big, right? Not even 10,000 subs. They were pulling, 500 viewers plus. So
yeah, yeah. Deltia, when he was playing, Deltia loves PvP, but he also knows that if I relegate myself to just PvE, growing and scaling my channel is going to be really hard because there are a lot more PvEers. The thing about it is if you're trying to create a target-rich environment, we should be teaching the PvEers how to love PvP, what to love about PvP. Not to feel the stress of PvP, but to the thrill of it, right? The thrill of the hunt or being hunted, and just there's so many things, but people that have a platform like that can bridge that gap. And I know I'm not sure that we have a whole lot of people trying to bridge the gap between PvE and PvP, but instead we're dividing,
well,
you
not to
know,
mention
the
it's also borderline impossible to do that now because Deltia grew his channel both PvE, PvP, and every aspect of the game when the game first came out.
mhm.
So no matter what video he made, everything was just getting clicks. Now, if you try to branch, if you're a PvPer or a PvEer and you try to branch into the other one, the YouTube algorithm will just completely kill your channel. So
Yep, yep, yep. I saw that when I started making Fortnite content, as a ESO PvP content creator, right? So,
what's up, Eamon's
yep.
modded controller and Eamon's macro provider? Savvy
Yeah,
said they prefer talking about housing and swimming mounts. Yes, that's exactly what they
yeah.
prefer. And the issue
I,
is, the reason the game's not fixed is because people like Team Frizzy, cough cough, open 160 crown crates. So what's the
yeah.
point of fixing the game if somebody's still going to spend $700 on crown crates anyways?
Sustainable business model, right? We got to do what's putting money in the account. There's a plus side to this, and the positive or silver lining to this is they don't have that side project anymore with Blackbird or whatever it is. So that 2 billion funds that was drained from ESO and put into that project, yes, while lost or whatever, we should now start seeing
Oh, there's
the
Frizzy.
funds from this game put back into it. So there's a silver lining there. And Microsoft told them, this is your baby. We want you to start, what's it going to look like to grow and scale it for the next even 30 years. And so I hope that they take that serious and they're serious,
It's not fixed because it's not easily fixable. Yeah, but the issue is they haven't even tried to fix it in like the last 3-4 years. They're just barely realizing that things need to get fixed. They realize that player count's probably going down and people are buying less crown crates because nobody wants to play the game. What's the point of spending your money on crown crates for cosmetics if you're not even going to log on the game? Because it sucks.
Yeah. Hey, along that same lines too, when you're talking fixing it or whatever, do you currently even trust them to fix it? Say they had the capability to, do you trust them to make the proper changes to fix it? Fast forward 5 years ago, we're talking about Merciless being like, why does a class have an ability that has a higher tooltip than an ultimate? You know, and we're just like, and oh, by the way, that class also has access to a guaranteed crit from stealth. So we're nuking people, right? And so we're talking about this 5 years ago. Fast
You're
forward,
not
what do
wrong. It
they
really
do?
does. My tooltip is 20k on my Merciless and 16k on my Dawnbreaker.
Yeah. So fast forward 4 or 5 years later, hey, we've decided to finally address Merciless. It now hits twice. And we're like,
Hey, but
what are
it's
we doing?
okay. It's okay because we removed the 300 weapon damage.
Yeah, that right there, you know? And there's always people on the other side of it that are saying, well, we need that type of tooltip or we need that ability because there's people that are unkillable. And it's like, well, hold up. We're not going to fix the unkillable people or the tank meta or whatever. We're just going
And
to.
they're not unkillable. The issue is that it's people like Brian Willer who don't know how to play the game. They don't understand how line of sight works. It's like, no, I'm not unkillable. You'll hit me. Trust me. I've been hit with a 20k bow still, no matter what I'm wearing. You know, I've had builds with Pariah like Eamon. I've had builds, even when I dueled Eamon, and I wasn't even built for it. Was a 1vx build. I still hit Eamon with a 16k spec bow.
Right. And he builds tanky, right?
Right,
Because
he's
he's
got
fighting
Pariah
outnumbered a
on
lot.
and
Yep.
protective.
Yep. Yeah. So, I don't know. If they revert the battlegrounds back, I'll have a lot more confidence in the current team. And if they start listening to somebody that understands the nuances of PvP and in regards to balancing, that'll make me feel a whole lot better. So, and to be honest, you know, I really enjoyed no proc, no CP because I felt like it was no free damage, no free healing from abilities. It's literally my skill and my loadout, my abilities that I choose or class that I choose versus others. And can I sustain and can I put these people away? And if you ever played no CP, no proc, you know that when you run into a group of 10, it's way different than what we have in the current game right now, vicious death and everything else. If you're going to dispatch someone with no proc, no CP, you have to manually dispatch them, each and every one of them. In the current meta, we land a good pull with rush or get our vicious death to land properly, and you know, that's how we do it. And now it's back into ult generation mode, right? We're kiting or we're just trying to, you know, line of sight and not get dead, right? So
Why did you give up on him? Give up on who? Yeah, I don't trust them to fix the game. I don't think they ever will. I don't think they care enough. I think they're gonna go straight into vengeance. Vengeance only as the only form of campaign. And the day they do that, the game will be dead.
I can tell you right now, I would put money on it. Vengeance 100% is happening. And it just for the pure reason that they control the code, right? And they're not having to deal with the problems they've been dealing with for the last 5 years. And that might even be a situation that's been their scapegoat, right? Their higher ups are like, there's a lot of people complaining that you're not doing this or you're not doing that, and they've got pressure, and they're like, well, we didn't write the code, we can't do it or whatever. Okay, well then write the code. And so this is them writing the code. I honestly think that's what vengeance is. Whoa, got hit with something heavy there. But anyways, I think that vengeance 100% is going to happen for that reason right there. And another thing too is we started noticing, I did a video on this. It's ESO.
You're still crying that ESO is going to change and not to your satisfaction. Wah, wah, wah. Poor you. You can't have it your way. You gotta be like the rest of us Zerglings. Adapt, accept, and adjust. What are your thoughts on that message?
Oh my gosh, what's up, Sigma? I think Mike is one of the people that he's a casual. Mike is a casual, and Mike's just like, you just adapt, you jump in a group, and you zerg with big people. What's the big deal, or whatever.
You're right, because
So
it's exactly how he plays.
yeah, that's what I think. And I don't even know him. I'm just thinking about it and then cross-referencing that mindset with PvPers that I've trained. That's a very beginner PvP mindset. So that's what I think Mike is.
Yeah, and
So,
he's keep in mind he's also one of those people who refuse to even try to get better at the game.
well,
Right?
there you go.
He's
There you
one of
go.
those people who, so he likes vengeance.
Yeah.
He
Hey,
likes
I'm
vengeance.
hey, I'm for vengeance too, just to be clear, because I like no proc, no CP. So hey, Sigma, by the way, I miss you, dude.
They got
I
positive
look
feeds on vengeance? Question mark. Where can you see the tester? That's where I want to know. I want to
it.
see where this because my issue is
Yeah.
like I'm trying to figure out where they get this positive feedback from. You go
I
into
don't
vengeance.
even know, but it doesn't care. It doesn't matter, right? Because it's going to be whatever they need it to be to send it through, right? It's going to be whatever it needs to be to send it through. It might be actually 5% negative, you know. It's a negative review, but
Well,
they're
it's a
like,
very negative review. I mean, look at
yeah,
all the negative feedback they have gotten, and then look at the player count. They force like right now, it is 3 p.m. We have almost 9 bars in Grey Host already, right? Which is surprising, right? The game's usually dead, but you go and they force everybody into vengeance at all times. They force everybody into vengeance with the test. Can't do anything else but vengeance unless you go do BGs. And
yeah,
even then, after the first day, it goes from 9 bars because everyone's like, "Oh, look, new vengeance test. It's fun. Let's play it for a day, maybe 2 days." Third day, all the way to the end of the test, vengeance Cyrodiil is literally completely empty.
yeah. Here's a problem that they did with too. It was poorly implemented. The first rounds of testing for vengeance, every ability was mag based, and I'm like, I literally, and you don't have access to um, armor sets. You know, there's no armor sets that I can buff up my recoveries. So my attack per minute or actions per minute, APM, my APMs was like infinitely lower than it normally is, because I'm literally sitting here waiting for mag to get back in the tank just so I could do something. And then I have to decide, is it going to be a buff because my buffs are dropped, or is it going to be a heal because I'm taking damage, or is it going to be, you know, a damage ability because I'm trying to kill this guy that's trying to kill me, you know? So
Wider variety of builds, and now they've taken that away with making the meta more narrower. Yeah, I mean, even Vengeance has a meta, and that meta in Vengeance is way stronger than the meta you have even in regular Cyrodiil subclassing.
yeah.
I mean, playing Nightblade and Vengeance, the last test and the first test, was just completely busted.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, you're sitting around waiting for just to get enough recoveries, unless you're running Nightblade or something that has like built-in sustain, right? So it's just a faulty test. And then what's going to happen if your APM is down, your actions per minute is down, they're going to get a positive result on the back end and say, you know, this was a lot less stressful for our servers. This is the play right here.
Yeah, there's nothing in the game besides base abilities
Right.
and
Right.
half the player count, because nobody likes it.
Yeah. So I'm personally okay with Vengeance because I played no CP, no proc, and I know there's 10 people in front of me. We're going to put all 10 away, but I got to do
might
it
be
manually.
more enjoyable Vengeance type campaign, right? If they maybe leave subclassing, or not leave, even if they don't, right? They leave it pure classes, and instead of forcing everybody into like, you don't have any sustain unless you're running Nightblade, or you have to do this, right? Instead, just give everybody torque. Why not just give everybody torque?
I'm down for it. I'm there for it.
That'd be a lot more fun than, and still at the same time, no proc sets, right? Nothing overloading the server, and then you still, it's balanced.
Yeah. Yeah, think of the level of calculations that are going on with proc sets and champion points, and you know, and then you multiply that, and then oh, by the way, you know, we talk about the problem with heal stacking and cross healing, you know, and just that problem alone and how much it was adding to the servers. And so there's a lot of things by rewriting that code they're going to be able to control. So I'll be here for it. I'm
Yeah, but
interested in it.
even I'd rather them not force everybody into vengeance at all times with it being the only thing. I'd rather them do it very slowly, make the transition and from spaghetti code to not spaghetti code. You know, even if we're stuck with a broken gray host, is a lot better than just leaving us with only vengeance.
Right. And you might decide to go to vengeance if their advertising and marketing campaign externally is sending PvEers that are wanting to get into PvP towards vengeance is the jump in and play and the, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, fast forward a year down the road, vengeance is the main campaign because all the new people that come in and they come up through the ranks of understanding the nuances of PvP, that's all they know and ever known, you know? Like games are a lot like businesses, right? This is a bucket and their advertising and marketing campaign, their ad spend is trying to figure out ways to add water to the bucket, and then their loss, shrink, or whatever you want to call it, is water running out of the bottom, and that's, you know, veteran players quitting because they're fed up, or that's people getting through the content and deciding they're going on to the next game. So yeah, Q Sigma, I play a lot with Q, and super high skill set PvPer, and a lot of my videos were during white streaks and stuff. He's running with me. We've seen some really crazy stuff, but
Savvy said on console it's 0 bars till 5 p.m. Get half. If it gets to half bar max, it's so dead. Well, Savvy, that's because you play on EU, but that's, you know, that's a different story. Mike said, all I hear is blah, 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 whining from you. Poor you. You hate vengeance. You rather have ESO be broken. You don't want to challenge yourself to being better. Just play. Well, let me also point out real quick. I have a video in Vengeance of me doing a 1v5 on Nightblade because it's OP. Game, it's not balanced, by the way. I never played when Vengeance was out, but it sounds terrible. It is very terrible. There are more players playing Vengeance than Crybaby Anime Boop says. And you know how I'll stream Vengeance and saw the Crybabies, the good players, the fun of normality. Vengeance might be more enjoyable if they add subclassing aspect, basic skills. How they gonna give us something when they take it away? Give a test. Any campaign which requires more skill than carry gear, I'm all for it. What you're running on front bar, have Order's Wrath. Keep the ball rolling and add the subclassing into Vengeance and leave no proc, no CP with the current additions being added, and I think it'll do great.
Yeah. You know the thing about that, in 5 to 10 years, none of us are going to matter because their influx of new players coming into the game. So they literally just need to get Vengeance right, whatever that looks like, you know, whoever you're listening to. They just need to get Vengeance right, and then all their ad spend and advertising and marketing and new, you know, campaign to get players in, that's all they will ever know from day one. And so at that point, we're just the guy, well, when I was your age, you know, we're the old guy that knew what, you know, that was like, but it won't even really matter at that point. They now control the code. They can control the direction of the game. So that 100% is going to happen. I'd put money on it. Vengeance is for sure a thing. So
I hope you're wrong. I hope you're like completely wrong.
yeah.
Because if you're not, then there is no. I'd like to see what. I don't see how it grows. I mean, a big part of games growing and, you know, increasing player count is content being made, content creators, right? If you force literally everybody into Vengeance with no sets, I promise you, Pain in the Axe is probably going to quit the game. Akui will probably quit the game. I'll quit the game. Eamon will quit the game. Kamul's a RP PvPer. He'll quit the game. I promise you, Juggy probably won't play the game. If maybe he will, maybe like once every month. I mean, there's already no PvP content creators, and then all the ones who do make content don't want Vengeance, and the game will die, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, but what they'll do is, there's always next man up. There's always going to be somebody that comes in and wants to be a content creator, and they've never known anything before Vengeance, there's always going to be that person. So also, by the way, I'm an RP content creator, PvP content creator. I've got young Kratos, old man Kratos, like Steve Rogers and Iron Man, and I make PvP. You know, I like proc sets because proc sets allow me to make things that are very thematic.
I don't even think I mean, proc sets might be an issue for the code, yeah, but overall, proc sets in themselves, they're just a little overtuned. There's nothing actually wrong with them.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Moneybank said would be really sad, or said that's taking the game away from Up, basically. Yeah, it won't matter, like we said, in 5 years from now. None of us matter. The people that understand and like, you know, having choices, putting builds together, right? Like, my build videos get way more views than any video of me just doing PvP gameplay, right? Because that's only appreciated, PvP gameplay is appreciated by people that understand what they're watching. New PvPers don't have that understanding of what they're watching for the most part, you know? They're just looking for a build video that's going to keep them from not dying in a millisecond because time to kill is way too fast, you know? And they're getting hit with things that they can't even recognize because of subclassing.
And the build's still not going to help them because it's
not
literally a skill issue.
It's a skill issue. It's a learn
and
to play issue.
And that's kind of part of the reason is my idea is the reason I have a hour-long how to PvP guide basically is because I believe that a lot of new PvEers or people who aren't in the PvP, their main issue is that gap of, you know, people who've been playing, they know how to play the game, they can't do anything against them. So my idea is if we teach these people how to play against them and learn the basics of PvP, that more people will get into PvP.
Yeah.
It'll be less of an issue. But a big part of it is also the community is garbage.
Yeah.
You know, 100%. A lot of people gatekeep builds, a lot of people gatekeep certain techniques or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, 100%. Or they find something that's an exploit, and you know, Oakfather Bow was being exploited for 8 months. You know, it continually was building its weapon and pen. You know, whether it was on your front bar or back bar, and you know, when you report it, the devs are like, "Well, it's just a UI error," and it's like, "Bro, watch me light attack this guy for 18K."
It definitely was not. I literally tested it. Even when they said it's just a visual error, I was like, bro. I was like, hold on. I was on PlayStation at the time. I told my friend, okay, so you stand still, be unbuffed. I'm gonna be buffed up, and I'm gonna hit you, right? Boom, 8K. Yeah. Then he buffs up, and then I buff up. And boom, next thing you know, I'm hitting the guy for still 8K, even though he's fully buffed.
Yeah. Sabby was saying, I know people like Vengeance because they're not getting bombed, but then just nerf Vicious Death Set, and then it's just a Zergling fest. Yeah.
I think the issue with bombing is the pool sets. I don't think it's... The game was fine when Vicious Death was out, right? In Plague Break. It's the fact that you can use Dark Convergence and Rush of Agony, and it turns bombing into something that took skill before pull sets into something that takes no skill. Yeah. You know what? When those sets first came out, there was a little bit of a learning curve, right? People were getting bombed for the first time, and so recognizing and then counterplaying it, you know? But as soon as you get things like Rush, that's completely ignoring CC immunity, right? It's ignoring one of the biggest, most should be set in stone rules of the game. I have CC immunity after I'm stunned, right? A hard CC or stun can happen every 7 seconds. Slow immobilization or root could happen every 4, right? We were breaking those rules with that set, and now we could use Rush to pull people in, and then also, oh, by the way, stun them, and by that point the bomb's already gone off and everyone's stacked on top of one another. So yeah, I remember I was never, back in the day when Xing was a thing and people were doing 1v20s. I wasn't a 1vxer, right? I was more of just a BG only player. You know, I would occasionally go into Cyrodiil and play like a casual, right? I would sit there and I'd zerg, surf, and I remember the first time I got bombed, right? We were just repairing a door, right? We went, started repairing a door, and next thing you know, everybody blew up. I was kind of confused. I was like, I don't even know what happened, right? But now it doesn't matter where you're at, right? If there's 10 people, like this whole ball group right here, can literally all get pulled into a tiny little circle and then get negate bombed, and then they just all die because there's a pull set.
Yeah.
There's no trying to time, you know, when they're gonna be all next to each other, right? There's no timing, there's no skill. It's just, hey, use your pull and then ult and cleave.
That thought process right there, 100% on point. Pair that with Vengeance now. There's no pull sets. There's no even bomb sets. So now you have to manually go down there and start taking those people out, you know?
And not to mention, Vengeance also takes out a pretty sizable amount of the community in PvP because a lot of people like to bomb. That's like one of the biggest play styles right now is bombers.
Yeah, Revive actually said this too. Nobody likes anything taken away from them. The fact that we have everything at our disposal, right? Nuclear capabilities, all the sets, all the everything. All the people that are currently playing the game, of course, they're not going to like Vengeance. Like, we're having so much taken away from us. Fast forward 2 to 3 years, won't even matter, especially when they're looking at 30 years out. None of this even matters. They just do it right and they'll be on point.
That's the conundrum of the gap between PvPers and PvEers. The PvEers have only been doing PvE, should have the same knowledge, should have the of armor sets as the PvPers. All they need to do is look at their collection. Another part is the PvEers voicing their opinions about PvP when they don't PvP. It'd be like the same thing. Luna gets mad at me all the time because I tell her PvE sucks and it's easy. She's like, you literally don't play PvE. But, you know, when I go and voice my opinion, it's never about PvE because she's right. I don't know shit about PvP. I have no idea how it works, right? I don't know if it's actually hard or if it's actually easy. But I'm not writing feedback reports and adding them on Twitter and telling them, hey, I don't like the way PvE is. I only play PvP. It's not fun for me to PvE. Can you please change everything to my liking? Thank you.
And not only that, as a PvPer, your satisfaction in PvE comes from the fact that these people are dying to standing in red, and you know they're dying to mechanics that you're easily dodging and you're avoiding, right? And they're, you know, looking at you. But now if they looked at your DPS, if you're going in there with a PvP build, your DPS is nowhere near, you know, like there's levels to it, right? And if you take the 200k DPS PvEer and then I tell you, I want you to throw on your favorite PvP setup and go head to head in PvE against that person, as far as parsing, you know that they're going to just completely run away with it, right? That skill set gap happens the same in PvP because they're two different objectives, right? You're happy in PvE because you go in there and you just don't die, you know, and they're trying to maximize their parse, maximize their DPS, and, you know, whatever. It's just like two different thought processes. So, yeah, there's levels to it, though, and the PvPers have just different goals in mind. They're built different, you know, and PvEers are built different. So it's not like they can't understand each other and respect and love the other angles.
And the sad part about the update 48 reveal was it wasn't just disappointing to the PvPers, it was also disappointing to the PvEers, right? I mean, even the PvE meta is also stale. They made 0 changes to PvE or PvP. All they did was try and make the housing people happy and the RPers happy. And they barely even made the RPers happy because every time they did something, right? Every time Jason got on the thing, the dude, first of all, my main issue, bro sat there and ran in circles doing literally nothing for an hour straight. saying, "Oh guys, look at this. This is going to be important, but I can't spoil anything for you. Oh guys, look at this random thing.
Hmm.
I can't spoil anything though." It's like, brother, you've literally done nothing this entire time.
Yeah. Another frustrating thing about it is you have active content creators in ESO available at your disposal, and you'll bring Cypher back. I understand Cypher has multiple million subscriber channels for Fortnite, and he was a thing, absolutely a phenom at ESO. But to bring Cypher back is a slap in the face to pain in the axe and people that are race car drivers that could really help you answer questions, you know, about balancing and where the direction and where we need to go. You know, I don't know.
The last time when they paid Cypher to come back, I was actually kind of happy to see how dirty Cypher did them. They paid
Yeah.
him. They paid him to do an hashtag ad. The guy did his 1 hour. He logged on. He farmed. This was when Saint and Seducer came out. He farmed Saint and Seducer. Not even the full mythic. He got 2 leads. He spent the rest of the stream opening crown crates from his ESO Plus he never canceled.
Hmm.
And then he logged off.
Hmm. Yep.
And it's
And
like,
he did say some things like, "Man, this is not even the same animal," you know, like
yeah,
a lot
and a
of
lot of the
things.
part is they keep paying him to come back. It's like, first of all, his entire Fortnite is audience. His entire audience is Fortnite. They're like 5 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody in this game calls me a baby because I'm 22. I'm like, brother, Cypher's age group for his viewers is like 11 years old.
Yeah.
They don't even know how to cook eggs yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like, literally just embrace your PvP community and find somebody that has a good transfer of knowledge. Um, they show up with receipts. They can tell you why this ability is not balanced, and then they can give suggestions on how to balance it. Not just complain about something and say do something about it, because they're literally don't know what they should do about it, or they have assumptions what they should do about it, and none of them are ones that like the PvP community. You're like, oh no, 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 don't do that, please.
Yeah, not to
Like,
mention, it's hard for them to grab new players, right? When a lot of the content creators, right? New people will come. Hey, I never played this game before. Is this better than WoW? And a lot of them would tell them no. It's like, no, they don't care about the game. Don't waste your time playing this game. It sucks.
yeah, yeah. Time will tell. Log this moment in your mind, and then a year from now, look back at this, because I had the luxury of being able to do that with the Three Skeevers podcast, right? We got to say these things, verbalize it, get our feelings out on what we think's happening, speculate, tinfoil hat things, and then rewind 4 years, 5 years. We're like, dang, how on point were we? How on point were we? So lock this in, and then go back and look at this, a year from now.
You also said you wanted to touch up on that one guy's paragraph he wrote on my video. You want to take a look
Oh,
at that one too, because I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie, that dude wrote a whole book, and I read it this morning. I was like, man, this like, I disagreed with everything that guy said basically.
Yeah,
And
let me go
ZeniMax
find him.
takes off the sets. PvP only. PvE people will play this game. Yo, anime, what's up, Tony? I think honestly their main goal right now is to broaden the player base again by doing these appealing updates first, housing stuff, mount updates, etc. But that's not really broadening the player base, because it doesn't matter if they add a new house. It doesn't matter if they add a new mount. People are gonna be like, "Wow, that looks cool," and then they go and a lot of people, they're gonna go look up a video, right? They're gonna be like, "Oh, I wonder what PvP looks like, or I wonder what PvE looks like." Maybe they open up my stream, and on my stream we're sitting here right now, and I'm telling them how trash the game is, and they're like, "Well, I don't want to play this game then. This guy
Yeah,
plays the game. He just said it sucks ass."
yeah. So Zemnas 1995. Everyone's allowed to their opinions, and it's actually very interesting to read the opinions of people that way differ from you, because sometimes they might have a great point, and then they touch base on a great point, but you know it's not right. But how do I bridge the gap, or how do I explain to them that it's not right to bring them more to our level of understanding, right? One of the first things he talks about is ESO is not even considered competitive if you do anything outside of 2v2s, 4v4s, 8v8s. It's not considered competitive, right?
Yeah, here, let me pull it up and read this to
Yeah,
everybody watching so everybody
yeah,
knows what we're talking about here.
yeah. We'll just take bites off of it and then kind of break it down and explain why, right? Like we'll try and do a master class education for
So
people.
let's see. He said, okay, I'm going to disagree, right? Try not to insult anybody. Because the majority of ESO players have never played solo shuffle or 2v2s on World of Warcraft. The only part I agree is when PvP is cooked. I can't argue against that in the current state. At 140, he said, so Brian comes on stream and there's no PvP update. That's fine. What you didn't mention is you can check the VOD is that Brian said they were looking to branch out of Cyrodiil in future updates. So my issue with that is this guy wrote a whole book and he completely missed the main point. Is Cyrodiil is literally the main point of PvP. Cyrodiil, when the game came out, the whole point of ESO was supposed to be Cyrodiil's the end game, and they completely threw it out the window.
Yeah. How many people think that the MMR matchmaker rating system in ESO is awesome? What do you think that percentage of people think that it's great is?
5%.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's not a lot because everybody's been on the receiving end at some point of getting absolutely dog walked, spawn camped, right? The MMR, which is this mysterious thing that they cannot or will not tell you because probably it doesn't exist at all. It's literally just a grab bag, but the MMR doesn't exist. So I don't want to hear anything about 2v2s and 3v3s or arenas like competitive play until they prove to me that they can have a proper MMR, or it makes it's nothing. It's garbage because the best guy in the world just so happened to get paired up with somebody that, if there was a good MMR, is on the bottom end, and this guy's feeding or smurfing on newer players. He doesn't realize it, thinks he's the God's gift to PvP, and it's just because there is a lack of MMR, matchmaker rating system, or ELO, whatever you want to call it. And so you have to get one thing right before you even entertain
5%
that.
is a lot. 5% is not a lot. I promise you,
that...
there's way more than 5% of people who think that the matchmaking or the MMR in both Call of Duty and Valorant and League of Legends and basically every other game that has some type of MMR or anything like that, more than 5% think it's actually good.
Yeah.
I've listened to him talk for over an hour. Who is he? To Sanity. He's a vigilante ZOS developer.
To Sanity, what's up, dude? This is Grimsforge Gaming.
Yeah, he's a ZOS dev. Just keep it on the low.
No, I wish.
Keep it on the low. The clickbait's going crazy right now, so just keep it on the low.
To Sanity and I have had some 2VXs. We've had some awesome fights up in IC. So, what's up, dude?
I came back to ESO with the promise of a competitive BG scene. They really misled with that update. Yeah, they completely lied. They didn't even mislead. They just completely lied to everybody.
Yeah, Team Frizzy. Yeah, and it's just their lack of understanding. So I like the map designs. I think they're really creative, really cool. But you got to bring back the 4v4 and bring back the 3-team scenario. So you just have to. It's not a healthy PvP environment. It's not an environment that's conducive to bring in new players. So the second they come in and they get spawn camped or whatever, it'll be like, thanks or no thanks. This is garbage. And imagine you're a new player. Actually, don't even imagine you're a new player. Say you're an intermediate to advanced PvPer that's trying to pursue your dailies. And you jump in and you land 4 teams in a row that just get stomped.
I've done that before. I've logged in to get my class script thing, and then my team just every game got completely ran over. I was like, I had to do like 7 BGs just to get it, and I'm literally better than everybody in the BG, but because their overall team is way better than my overall team, we just lost every time.
You're just getting steamrolled. Yep. And Team Frizzy said something. If anyone thinks that the MMR system is good, they really should go play WoW Arenas. WoW Arenas MMR system is great. Like if you want to have one of the most fair, like these guys are right with us, and it's a very competitive. If they get that right, it will be great. So, yeah, I 100% agree, Frizzy. I love arenas and WoW. I actually would queue with a friend, and he wouldn't come in when Blood DK first came out, and I would solo queue with my Blood DK and just go in and troll.
Can we just get an actual competitive scene? Like, I think they're just anti-competition at this point. Right. And matter of fact, the BGM in is a perfect example right now. Because we are getting absolutely rolled, and there's going to be literally nothing I can do to even help us try to win. I mean, half the team is left. I mean, my team is just leaving.
You guys know the saying, right? The cart before the horse. If they give us arenas or give us a competitive scene without actually getting the MMR right, they have.
I mean, look at that. My team is literally getting spawn trapped.
Yep. Yeah. This is not fun. This is not fun, and you're an advanced PvPer. You're a race car driver, and this is not fun. You know?
I mean, I'm still alive. I mean, 99% of the players would have already died. I mean,
yeah, this is.
Oh, look, Moronto's in my BG.
This is a practicing kite game, right? Practicing kite game, stretching them out and trying to turn and burn on them. You know, maybe this guy's out of position. You're going to try and light him up. You know.
Just like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't even understand why Zos thought making a better MMR system. I don't even understand why Zos doesn't get it making a better MMR system. Seems like they're just dumb and understand zero of the game. Yeah, that was what we were talking about, is how you have elite. Let me tell you, the reason why the houses look nice, right, and the cosmetics look nice. Have you seen the person in charge of all that stuff? Every time she comes onto a dev stream, she looks like she's the happiest person on the planet, and she loves her job. Then you look at Brian Willer come on the stream, and like Jason, who came on the stream the other day, and they just don't care at all about the game. Like, you can see it in them.
Yeah. Sigma said literally no sweats on the dev team in ESL. It's the air quotes, "you belong here," decaf drinkers. Yeah. This is a safe zone. You can.
It's the devs thinking they're smarter than their actual player base. The game PVX feels so stale. Well.
Yeah. And here's another thing too. What if they did a scoring system like Infinite Archive, right? And they tied that into a ranked system for PvP, right? You're awarded a certain amount of points. I don't trust that they would allocate those points properly to activities being done in PvP, right? So I don't even think they understand how to even allocate those points to do things like that. They would need a PvPer to say, here's what's some of the most important things in PvP, right? And then start kind of reverse engineering the whole thing, and then build a scoring system to account for it.
This next guy's point was, so you start complaining about balance, and before I give a solution to the balance, you need to ask yourself, do I want balance and fairness, or do I want build diversity? Which, by the way, you can have both. You can have both semi-balanced. It doesn't have to be perfectly balanced. No game will ever be perfectly balanced. It's literally impossible to do. There's always going to be something better than the other thing. The issue is here, for example, when you take the meta we had right before subclassing, when Arcanist and Max Orc were OP, right? Every other class was still playable. You know, Dragonite, people were running Oak Fathers and Daedric Trickery. Templars, people were running Deadly or Innate Axiom or something like that, or Olos, right? You get on Magsork, they had a different build. You go to Warden, they had a different meta. right? And every class was basically playable besides Necro, was just completely trash, but it was still playable. It was just trash. But like there's a way to have both, right? Tarnished Nightmare
Hmm.
was OP, but you weren't forced into Tarnished Nightmare to compete with everybody else using Tarnished Nightmare. In subclassing, you're basically forced into the meta, and if you don't use the meta, you get bursted. And that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can play off meta and subclassing or whatever, but you're playing at a huge
You're
disadvantage,
playing
right?
if you're not using Pariah or Rallying Cry in PvP now, the game's really not fun. It's not that fun.
Hey, Q, he said we need Fangrush and Grimsword to take over ESO PVP development. Fangrush is making content for Dune Awakening. That's the game I've been playing, and he is crushing it. Crushing it. I don't see him coming back to ESO. I really don't. So, like, he released a video, and in the first hour, it had 16,000 views, and that game just came out like 4 months ago. So, he's on the front end, you know, like Anime was talking about when Deltia came onto the scene with ESO. Fangrush is that guy for Dune Awakening. So
Rallying Cry has been broken for so long it's boring at this point. I don't even think it's not the fact Rallying Cry is OP. It's the fact, first of all, it's the fact that it is so easy to stack absurd crit damage in subclassing. The meta is Animal Companion, Assassination, or Adric Spear. All three of those passive skill lines and their passive give you crit damage. Then they came out with Monomyth. They knew what they were doing. They came out with Monomyth
mhm.
to give you an extra 20% major force at all times, and then they give you major protection on the back bar, knowing that this was going to make it most likely the best PvP mythic in the game, so they can sell their new zone.
Next new greatest thing, right?
Kind of like
Yeah,
Satan and Seducer came out and it was the best PvP mythic, and now Monomyth is out and it's the best PvP mythic. And they know what they're doing.
yeah.
It shows by the mythics they're bringing out. It's like they have somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, quite literally the definition of pay to win, too, by the way. When you have an unfair advantage paying for something that you would not get without, right? So it is the definition of pay to win. So it's not pay to compete. There's a difference between that. Everyone can compete, but if the only way I can get that extra 20% crit is with that, there's that.
This person right here, this comment cracked me up. This part of this guy's comment was the funniest thing ever. He said at 450 he starts to complain about 2 vengeance sets coming, and I have a ton of vengeance. It's some of the best PvP I've ever played. No idea what you people dislike about it. You're probably just playing it wrong, maybe spending too much time inside keeps and doing siege. That part of Cyrodiil is lame and boring. I go out into smaller towns and do small scale, 1v1, 1vx. So this guy obviously doesn't watch me, because literally all I do is 1vx.
Yeah.
So that was the funniest part about that comment. So I know what it's like to 1vx. I 1vx in Vengeance, right? I literally have a video of me 1vxing in Vengeance and 2vxing and doing small scale in Vengeance.
Hey,
It's just boring.
yeah. Hey, think about that too. He says he goes to the small cities or whatever. Where are the quest hubs located at? He's going and he's 1vxing the questers, and
Right.
then saying, this is some of the best PvP I've ever had. I love my life. And it's like, bro, you're griefing like PvEers and then trying to comment as if you're the voice of reason for PvP, right? So, come on, man.
Savvy,
Yeah.
what the hell are you saying? What is with this French? I don't understand French.
Yeah. Chaos said, yeah, otherwise no PvP player would buy the new DLC. Yeah, so that is, look, it can't be both, right? It can't be the PvP community is so small and they don't open their wallets and spend money, so they don't matter and we're going to ignore them, right? It can't be that. But it also can't be the PvP community can't dictate and make all the changes in the game and do whatever. So there's this balancing thing conflicting right there. But how do you get PvPers open your wallet? Cosmetics. cosmetics. I think, you know, looking fresh. Like, look at Anime's character here. Anime put some effort into making the character look like this.
I've also
You
spent
know?
$0 making my character look like this.
Yeah. Well, time invested, right?
Basically, yeah.
Another frail ego player just bowling PvEers since he can't compete with PvPers.
Basically.
Possibly, yeah. We don't.
He
That
also
might
said,
be.
so the 4v4v4 nonsense, once again, it's blatantly obvious the amount of players who never played solo shuffle or arenas on WoW. 3-team is by definition not competitive, which, as we already stated, ESO is not a competitive game, so it doesn't matter if it's not competitive. And not to mention, it's far more competitive and more fun than AV8 or 4v4s are in ESO because of the way the game works. The devs absolutely went in the right direction by switching to 4v4 and AV8, and absolutely I would defend that because anybody that has a competitive bone in their body understands the concept 3-team is a joke and cannot be fair or competitive environment, which we already went over of why it's more fair than AV8 and more fun than AV8. And then A55, most issues currently stem from the current imbalance and dishonesty of combat in the game. Can be fixed one of two ways, with vengeance rule sets, or like I said earlier, cap health to 30k and make everyone wear Torque of the Last Alien King. And if you end up in the super sweaty lobbies where your opponents are basically a ball group, we're unlucky, just lose quickly and go next. That's a great point. Hey, if basically the game, if half of the BGs you're doing is unfun, boring, and unbalanced, oh, too bad, man, go next. It's basically what that guy just said.
That's a very Call of Duty mindset, right? Like, I'm going to run in here and guns ablazing, try and kill people, as many as I can before I get killed, and then I'm just going to respawn and go do it again. But intermediate to advanced PvPers live their life in a PvP scenario. They live, you know, unless you're a bomber, right? You're accepting that, you know, if I can get out of that's bonus, you know, but I'm going to die. How many can I take with me? But intermediate to advanced PvPers go into it like, I'm going to kill as many of you as I can, and I'm going to stay alive as long as I can, and that's going to flex my understanding or grasp of PvP, right? Like, it's not just run in, kill, and be killed, and then respawn and run in and kill and be killed. That person has a beginner PvP mindset, you know? So...
And then they hate whisper if they get beaten by PvPers with some diabolical threats. It's entertainment and just sad. If you see something to hate whispers, it's comedy gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, not to mention, yeah, a lot of the people who are worse than you are in PvP, and when you kill them, first of all, the first thing they always go to is calling you a cheater. Obviously, Eamon's chat is basically a meme of him saying he uses macros. But people like Ready Freddy are dead serious in calling people cheaters, right? They think because Eamon has thumbs and he made his own build that works and he knows how to kite, that Eamon is automatically cheating because Ready Freddy is on God knows what build that does no damage and is not tanky whatsoever. So therefore everybody's cheating, therefore let's remove every type of variation from the game so when there's 10 of us, there's no way Eamon can ever win.
Yeah. Yeah. My worry was we knew that we needed pre-subclassing. We knew that we needed some class diversity. We needed some ability balancing, probably some passive balancing. You know, we've needed this stuff for 5 years. We were talking about that Three Skeevers podcast, right? Fast forward, the balancing didn't happen, and instead they opened it up. They went the other direction. Be whatever you want, run whatever abilities you want, and it ignored the underlying issue was we still don't have that balancing happen, which ends up making a clear defined meta, you know, that if you're trying to be the most optimal you can, you pretty much got to go this route, you know, outside of skill, right? When it comes to just optimization with abilities and passives, it has to be this, right? So anyways, I think that subclassing hurt our chances of getting proper, you know, balancing. And
I think proper balancing is still possible. I mean, it's been Update 47 was the first patch after they released subclassing, and now Update 48 is going to be the second. It's going to be 2 updates in a row of having a completely broken meta in subclassing, both in PvE and PvP. Everybody's using the same thing, and they're not going to balance anything. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and would you trust them to do it too? Would you trust them to make the proper, or are they going to make Merciless hit twice now?
I'd rather them at least try. I'd rather them at least try than just do nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because right now, as far as balancing subclassing, they've done literally nothing.
Yeah. Yep. So, I don't know. I'm interested to see if open lines of communication continue with them and they start listening. Who are they listening to is going to be a big thing.
Well,
you know,
definitely not listening to me. I'm surprised they haven't banned me yet.
You know what? They need to start listening to race car drivers or people that understand the nuances of PvP. So, and also individuals that can verbalize or explain the why. You know, you can't just say, hey, Merciless probably shouldn't hit twice and that's all I got to say about it. You should say Merciless shouldn't hit twice and here's why. Or
yeah,
you know,
it shouldn't hit twice because it's the highest singular damage ability in the entire game. Why can't it fire twice?
Right.
It's not
right.
It's not a PvE reason either, right?
Right.
It's just like I honestly don't. I can't. I've thought about it and I've tried to think of like, hey, I wonder what made them do this. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think PvPers just need to learn more about PvP before crying, because even us, when we go into PvE and trials, make effort and we make proper DPS builds, etc. People just gotta drop their ego and play for fun. If you want to improve, then you will have to prepare to suffer. It's that simple. When I started, I got suplexed in every moment I was alive. Now I am the one who suplexes.
Yeah. Hey, how many views did your video get where you said you put the PvP training video or how to get better? How many views did that get?
I didn't do... I think it did decent. Let me check.
Like stronger than just gameplay videos?
Everything does better than strictly just gameplay videos.
Right, right. And gameplay is super important for new PvPers from a learning perspective, you know, because that watching that combat will allow them to witness things quicker than it may take to happen to them to experience, right? So when we're talking about the need to line of sight or the need to block cast or the need to whatever, and they not experience it firsthand, it might be 6 months or a year from now. But they can watch in the video.
The video the video actually, it got good feedback, the video. You know, there's 33 comments. Every comment about this was completely a positive comment. It has basically the highest like ratio of all. 116 likes and only 1 dislike.
Mm-hmm.
And it got 2,800 views. So it didn't do bad, right? Compared to a normal video I post will get, 95% like ratio. I mean, everybody liked the video.
Yeah, I think if you will be known as a PvP trainer or somebody that is trying to create an atmosphere conducive to learning, like we want to share the joys of PvP with everybody. We're not gatekeeping, we're not whatever, like, so.
Yeah, I need to make probably another video. People wanted me to make another video. It's just like nobody explained about what.
Yeah.
So I just I need to know like what people. Yeah, I need to know like what exactly people want to learn.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, that's my 12 cents on the topic or whatever. When I saw your video, I was like, yeah, this guy gets it, and I wanted to see if we could do something. So
Anime gatekeeps me from his role-playing groups. I always ask to join, but he'll say I'm not cool enough.
Anime, are you out there in Cyrodiil in those villages in one of the taverns doing that?
I like to go to Vlass, and I like to go into the
I'm not judging.
I like to buy drinks You know, from the.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, I don't know. Hey, thanks for having me on. Sorry I was talking so much. Grim, your BG series videos still holds true fundamentally. Yeah, thank you, Q. Yeah,
I
own your
mean,
battlegrounds.
thanks for coming on. I mean, I think we had like 60 viewers at one point. So.
Yeah, yeah. You know, there's a fine balance too once you start digging into this stuff. How much of it is Yap Central and oh, here we go with the crying and negativity again, or how much of it is let's actually have an adult conversation about it. Let's talk about our pain points, and then let's actually pose a solution to those pain points. And so, yeah, I love Grim's videos. Thanks for your content. The theme builds are awesome. Hey, thank you. Thank you. I've got I made Sentry from MCU. I don't know if you guys seen Thunderbolts, but I made Sentry, and he has the light side, and then he also has the void side, and so I'm working with that right now. I made Iron Man, and I got
The
Steve
only
Rogers.
Thunder that anybody in this chat wants to see is Eamon, Mr. Chocolate Thunder. That's the build they want.
Hey, that's After Hours, right?
Yeah, that's the next build. That's the next RP build you need to make. You need to make the Eamon the Chocolate Thunder build.
Yeah. Yeah, do that, Q. I'm having a blast over in Discord. I got lined up with some guys that are super cool over there and loving it. But I am in ESO too. I'm just bouncing back and forth. I'm not 100% ESO anymore.
Oh yeah, you're rich in ESO, right?
Oh yes, that's right.
Yes.
You need some Telvar. What do you need?
I was gonna ask if you would like to donate to me and Eamon's dueling tournament.
How's 2 million gold?
That works better than 0. I gotta raise something. I can't let Eamon raise everything by himself.
Okay.
You know, you might, if
There you
you
go.
want to throw in an extra million to me, that works too, though.
There's Gloom. What's going on, Gloom? I think I have 20 million Telvar. I do have like 19 or 20 million Telvar.
20 million Telvar?
Yep.
How does that even happen?
Just as I live in IC, you know.
I don't think I've ever had more than 100k.
Yeah, I live in IC. I very rarely went out to Cyrodiil. I went out there if a group of friends were like, hey, there's this group out here we want to fight. And I'm like, all right, bet, let's do it. But most of the time I'm in IC. So some of the best small scale fights and really skilled encounters have been down there in IC. So
Yeah, we need to figure out, there needs to be some way to get IC populated again.
yeah, performance in IC has always obviously been better than
Oh, it's way
Cyrodiil.
better.
Way better. Yeah. Because nothing will make me rage quit quicker.
Then again, I don't even think it's just IC. I think it's only Greyhost that has performance issues. Grim sent me 19 million Telvar. You know, Grim, if you want, you just buy Kakaidos with all 20 million Telvar. Just split it up between me and Juggy.
Yeah. Hey, I can. I'll help you guys out. I'll make some donations Telvar wise with you. We'll just get together and figure that out. And then what I'll do is I'll send the gold to you so that way. When's your dueling tournament?
It'll be October 4th.
Okay. Hey, hit me up in game with like an in-game mail just as a reminder, and then I'll just respond to it with your stuff. So, or I'll meet up with you when you're online. So.
All right. Well, I have no life, so I'm online like basically all day.
Okay.
What even is your username? I think I have you added.
Grimsforge.
When was the last time you logged on?
2 days ago, 5 days ago, something like that. 2 days ago, we'll say.
3 days ago, on a level 30.
3 days ago. Yep. Working on Thor. It's going to be Rune King Thor. Juggy, I know you'd put it to good use, so don't be teasing. I would rather you guys have the ability to continue to pump out builds and content and stuff like that. I know it's a bottleneck for people that are actively testing and making content.
There you go. Sent you some mail.
Thank you. Grumpy, Grim makes videos. Yes, Grim's Forge Gaming. I was way more active in ESO like as of 4 years ago, and then over the past 10 months it's been a mixture of Fortnite and Dune Awakening and other things like different stuff.
So Car's
So
idea of double 12-hour weekends would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. Not even, it doesn't have to be just weekends. I mean, they can make it like once a month even if they wanted to. Anything.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know, don't they do that when they do White Strakes?
Yeah.
So maybe let's make White Strakes quarterly. Let's give us a quarterly White Strakes.
They should do that too, instead of, what, twice a year?
Right. And sometimes not even, right? On some of the years you could recall. So, yeah, no problem, Grumpy.
Most of the casuals rather have vengeance learning than learning PvP or theory crafting for their builds. Devs are listening to a pack of idiots. Basically.
Gloom, what's going on, buddy? Yeah. All right. You have an awesome night. Have a great stream. Sorry if it felt like I hijacked it.
No, it was great. It was great. Plenty of free viewers I got.
Yeah.
I should have ran ads. I would have made like $2.
Yeah. Hey, do you got merchandise going yet? Do you...
I don't know.
Dude,
I do have memberships and Twitch subs. So by the way, guys, if y'all don't know, since you're all here, today only, every $5 or YouTube membership or Twitch sub, I'll be doing 100 push-ups.
Oh.
This number's usually a lot lower.
Just think about that. That in 1 year's time, he's going to be mega powerful.
So yeah, any memberships, any Twitch subs, any donos, 100 push-ups. So I'm just saying, if y'all want to give me some money. Maybe one day I'll come out with merch.
Yeah. Hey, when you go to tackle that, let me know and I can help you out. So there's some tricks that you can do that are super helpful and will put money in your pocket immediately.
Oh, bet. I'll definitely have to hit you up then.
Yeah. See you, Q. All right. You guys have a good night. Love you. Bye.
Peace. Okay. Well, guys, that right there, that was our ESO developer segment of the stream. Anime merch. Facts, man. We're gonna need some merch. Ones that won't get me copyrighted and sued. Fuck vengeance. Facts. Now I get to clip that out. Baddie merch. Make some baddie merch. I sent it to you. Okay, I'll leave it there for now until I put it in my bank or something. Actually, I'll probably put it in my guild bank. That way I can separate my funds and... Oh, guys, let me tell y'all. Hold on. Here you go. Sabby is the GOAT. She made us a banner for the rules, which I sent to E-Man, who hasn't responded. Because I forgot he's getting his hair done or something like that. Respond. Why does my music pause? Bro, what do you mean I need to play ads? So anyways, Sabby's the GOAT. Shout out to Sabby. We got our rules here. I don't even know if y'all can see. I might be blocking it. I mean, it looks good. It looks good. It looks better than the first one she sent me. The first one she sent me was really bad. But then after making a couple changes, now it's really good. So. Very nice design. Facts. Facts. Everybody knows every baddie's a drama queen. Maybe put Central by the time. Well, we don't have to because we have the banner that Eamon made, which says 6 p.m. Central. Because this is just a roll one. It's just like a plus having this on here. Look, Mr. Hey, it only makes sense. It only makes sense that we call Eamon Chocolate Thunder. Look at the lightning. Look at the lightning here. And it moves. Even Mr. Chocolate Thunder. This should say Eamon the Chocolate Thunder. Anyways, rules: 12p Shattered Fate, max 3 heavy armor, 2 defensive blue CP, HP cap 30k, 7-minute timer, safety deposit 200k. Ult dump before start of duel, no immovables, no switching skill lines mid-tourney. Must have CMX, show info tab, restoring light crescent sweet band, in-cap soul harvest band, protective jewelry, riposte and bracing anchor, cleansing revival, and defensive ults, health resetting ults, corrosive armor, no poisons allowed, no warden charm skill, DK wings, crystallized slab shield, and Anchorage Coral T script. Damn, a lot of rolls. There is a lot of rolls. I don't want a shit show of a tourney. Going to adjust the rules, or is it fine? I think I like them, Yumi. I like the rules. After we dueled for a while, like when we first dueled, I was like, okay, maybe something's wrong with these rules. But after dueling for a while, I think I like them. I think they're final. I like them. Ban Specbo, such a carry. Because even, like, when I dueled V-Crest, and it makes sense. Like, it makes sense that me, you, and V-Crest were getting so many trades. Because we're all similar in skill level. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Going to me on every build. Well, it's something that y'all probably gotta deal with, man. I like the rules. I like them. And by the way, Yumi, is corrosive banned? Yeah, it is right here, corrosive armor. But even Meep was saying that. Meep was saying, it's kind of nice that we have Meep as a judge. But Meep was saying that, unironically, the Storm Calling Adric Spear Assassination is probably not the best combo. He said that there's a Meep said himself that there's a better combo than that for this tourney. So the fact Meep said that there's a better combo than what people think is going to be meta, I think is good enough. Because I think if somebody can come up with that combo, they deserve to fucking stomp everybody. Add a crit damage cap? To what? We definitely could add a crit damage cap. What the fuck is there a ball group everywhere? No, there's V-Pest right there. Okay, if I get a player that said I'm new to the dungeon, I'm going to cut my head off. Isn't it normal? Does it even matter if they're new to the dungeon? Oh, is it because when people say that they're new to the dungeon, that they're like, straight up banning Bo wouldn't be fun? Yeah, I agree. I don't think. Because they always want to like explore the dungeon and go slow when you be trying to speedrun the dungeon. I was like, bro, I don't want to sit here for an hour. And a crit damage cap. I mean, I don't think a crit damage cap will help, Yumi. I mean, what do you think the crit damage cap should be? Because I might burst your bubble here. Was Torque considered for the fair duel setups? Just ban axes? I don't think we need to. But, yeah, Torque was considered. It's just like, it's not as easily accessible. So people who don't already have Torque aren't going to go try and farm Torque for the, turning. So I think if this turning goes well, I think we're going to do a pure class turning next. That's what I want to do. Pure class turning is what I want to do next. What was my crit damage? My crit damage, Yumi, was only 40%. Like 90 or something? Bro, mine was only 40%. $40 plus 50 base. Yeah, mine was only... I mean, I could one-shot you, and it was only until we started stacking mitigation. I don't think we need. I don't think a crit damage cap is gonna make a difference. I think we're just kind of stuck with it naturally being absurdly high damage. But that's where I think when I told you to put on Flare. Flare made a huge difference. Flare might be the most important thing. I don't want to spend hours with them. Yeah, then they try to kick you when you don't. Are there going to be any backbar weapons banned? No. There's no bans on backbar weapons. crit is just way too high. I don't think there's a way, like... I don't think there's a way with making the tourney have less damage without making it, like... without adding too many rules to it. Like, it's already overloaded with rules. I don't want to overload it with even more rules. Especially when I don't think they're going to make a difference. So I think for this tourney, for this tourney, Yumi, because me and Eamon, we're definitely gonna run more, as long as like this one does decent enough. So I think for this tourney, we leave it just a little bit more lenient on the rules, and then next tourney we'll make it more strict. Because if we can run like 3 or 4 tourneys a year, that'll be nice. Like if we can run one around the holidays, or like sometime in December. Quarterly? Yeah, something like quarterly. The only good thing about Vengeance is unarmed build works. Yeah, unarmed builds are actually very fun. The fact you can run around and fist people is actually pretty fun. Should I do some push-ups? I need to do some push-ups. Let me move my Discord off the screen before y'all see me flirting with Sabby all the time, as I usually do. Let me make myself big. And let's do some push-ups! Let's do some push-ups. Ugh! Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. There's 25. Let's crack these down, baby. This is 91, right? Who messaged me? Oh, Grim? Yo, you want me to show y'all something? Look at this, man. Look at this. Look at this video. Look at this video. You see this? This is the front of my house. Somebody tried to break in or try to rob my ass yesterday. Y'all see this? Is my camera too big? Oh, look at this. Look at this dude. He ran. It made it look like he was gonna go up here, and then he bolted back this way to the other house. I tried a 1v1 IRL. Tony, you would've got packed up, buddy. Bro got tired of you gaping him in PvP? Bro tried to penetrate me last night, buddy. How did I die? Bro, this group of people is so weird. This Udon and Kawaii person are so weird. Like, what is with them XV1ing as a fucking comp group? That shit is so weird and lame. Spec bowling from the front window? Oh, let me show y'all what else I got though. This is very important. We got some 7-Up. Ugh. Udon is a bot. Man, I feel kind of good. Let me do another 25 real quick. Let me do another 25 real quick. Hold on, I feel good. Let me get these push-ups out the way, man. Let's get back to 0. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. $150. 20. 816. No, 916. Whoops. There you go. 100 push-ups every membership, every $5, every Twitch sub. 100 push-ups. They're trying to gank you. Woo! 60? Bro, that guy is over 70k base health. You half-assing the push-ups? Oh, I'm not. I'm doing my push-ups the same way Eamon does his push-ups. The same way Eamon does his push-ups, I do my push-ups. There's no difference. What's for dinner tonight? Probably pizza. Anime half reps. I've done more push-ups playing ESO than half of y'all have done in your entire life. Let's keep it real. Get a chicken bake from Costco and a Pepsi. Bro, do you know how much money's in my bank account right now? Let me try to show y'all. Let me see if I can show y'all. Let me show y'all. See if I can show y'all. Oh yeah, y'all can definitely see that, right? Y'all definitely see that. That's how much money's in my bank account. I can't afford no goddamn chicken bake from Costco and a Pepsi. Who do you think I am? I got like 41 cents. How do you fund the true pizza? Going to join OnlyFeet? Nah, bitch, you want to do all that fucking fighting shit? Oh my, this guy has 60k HP. Oh! Juggy, are you streaming today? Oh! Oh man. They're like 5th on the Eternal Archive leaderboard. What, solo weekly? Does this shield? I'm tired. Push back to 20. Which one?
向けられた刃の先いびつに悲しく笑う風のあなた叫んだ声と涙に似てた届かない思いはこの手から消え線を描く子は命をかけたあなたが望んだ結末終わらない音と錆びれた世界はまるで情報が記す未来のように深い闇に溶けてしまう朝まで歌は回り散った幾重の音は誰かの心はきっと救えたのだから悪夢がその声を貫く前に変わり果てた私はどうか許してくれこぼれ落ちた私の手に残るのは共に生きたという過去おぼろげに思い出した歌と世界を変えようとしたその声
Okay, I'm bored.